As many of you may know, I'm a history buff. I just love history, and coin collecting to me is a tie to our history, because many of our coins are telling us the history of that year or that time frame that was going along. And none finer for a storyline than that of the coins issued during World War II. We all remember the 43 steel cents, and then, oops, can't do this anymore. And then what did they change to? A shell casing cent. It's the cent that nobody talks about, but for 44, 45, and 46, 3 years, we struck a very unique copper cent made out of shell casings from the war. Tonight, the great news. We have a small quantity of complete 3-coin sets from the San Francisco Mint, and the grade, well, you just have to see that for yourself. Not just uncirculated or in capsules, which are beautiful coins. This entire collection tonight is 66 NGC with red. Now, red is very important. All coppers have 2 grades. One is a numeric grade, the quality of the coin, and then the other is the color or eye appeal. And as we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, it has become more and more eye appeal friendly. It's important. A brown looking cent versus a red looking cent sells for a huge premium. And we understand why. Because they look like they were made yesterday, even though they're 3/4 of a century old. But as I referenced, there were 3 distinct coins made during World War II that were unique only to that time frame. There were the silver nickels, which many of you I know have worked with us on and or are familiar with. The other Lincoln cent was in 1943, the steel cent. I mentioned that briefly earlier. But again, because it was steel, it got rusty, it wore horribly, and they replaced it immediately and destroyed a lot of coins. So in 1944, through the end of the war, the used shell casings were melted down and made into copper for cents. And then when the war was over, 47 forward, what do we have? The regular copper we're used to. If you compare these next to a regular copper, say a coin from the early 50s, you can tell the difference by just the eye appeal and the colorization of the coin, even in red. But here are some things that I love to talk about inside of this. 1, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco made shell case cents. So there are a total of 9 of them all together. This right here, right now, is a complete collection of the San Francisco issues. It's the 44, the 45, and the 46. So it's not 3 from San Francisco. It is the 3 that they made. Now the second is the grade. And it is significant as part of this conversation. Here are just the numbers year by year. And just listen to them, because they are outright wow. Numbers are very important in today's marketplace. The mints all across the world have told us that. Low mintages, low populations, everything matters. This is one from 75 years ago that's screaming at us. 1944 San Francisco, 282 million. 1945, 181 million. 1946, 198 million. How many San Francisco Lincoln cents were made? Now, NGC's been doing this independent certification, over the last 40 years, and they certify more coins than anybody else does in the industry, so they're looked upon as being number 1. Now, ANX, ICG, PCGS, the new CAC, they're all out there and recognized as being part of the Big Five, but one of them just produces more, has a reputation that's slightly different, and that is NGC. Here are their numbers over the last 40 years. The 44, in 66 or higher, so 66 and 67, 6,839. The 45, 5,507. The 46, 6,238. So that means, and this high quality, we're talking high quality coin, in red, that there are only 5,507 sets that could be put together, because the lowest common denominator is that 45S at that number. But think about that. If the U.S. Mint released in 2020 the V75, the Victory 75 years later, if they would have made anything with only 5,000 coins, what do you think would have happened? Well, we do know they made 75,000 Silver Eagles, and those are $400 or $500 a piece today. We do know they made a very limited number, 1,975 one-ounce gold coins. They sold out in a matter of a minute, and they're tens of thousands of dollars. So it tells us low mintages matter. Well, now for older coins, the population inside of that is even more so. This is that poster child. So again, tonight, we get to talk about that one little era of time when the U.S. Mint was reusing a supply because it needed the other pure supply as part of the war production. So after a shell casing was used, it came back, it was melted, and put back in the cents to keep the economy and everything else going here while everybody else was over there. But World War II, 3 coins, and this one, well, it's affordable. Look at this, $99.95. Yes, that's the price from us for the entire 3-coin set. My competition, we found them in 3 different holders, but in this grade. So that is the grade, which is the important part. Ours are homogeneous in look as well, and they're at $159. $60 more. Guys, give me a 30-second clock. I am down to my last dozen or so. A lot of people on the phones. If you are one of them, or you have a coin in your shopping cart, avccoins.com. We always reference when something's close to being sold out. If it's in your web package, we can't see it. This one, if you have it in your shopping cart, push it through. We'd love to have you call us back and add to your order. We just don't want you to lose out on this one. Because at under 100, for the significance and the quality of this set, it's just something special.